And welcome to Confidence Sharing, where we, the men of a certain age, share our thoughts, ideas, and opinions in confidence. And we have the whole crew today. We have Sean, we have Terrence, we have Rhino. So we're going to say hello to each one by one. Hello, Sean.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing?
Hello, Rhino.
Hey, what's up?
And hello, Terrence.
Greetings and salutations, all.
Okay, so we're going to start today with an interesting topic. We're going to talk about singleness in marriage. And kind of comparing the two. So let's start off with, and we're going to ask reflective questions here. One question is going to start off about being single. One question is going to start off being about marriage. Let's start off with the single man question. Do single men want to be married?
And that might be better fielded by our single guy in
the single man in this group. I guess that's my cue to go ahead and speak.
Like, and no coming pressure to the stage, Rhino.
Yeah, our single guy might want to take off with that one.
The answer is both yes and no. It depends on the guy. Now, for myself, and I can only speak for myself, I do want to be married. I want one woman to be there for me and with me, and you know, obviously forever. Well, at least until we die. No, but then there's another side of this coin I don't know if I should get into yet, because some people enjoy their lives the way it is. They don't want any extra added heartaches or side adventures or whatnot. They just want to continue the main mission. And that's what they want. But for me, I would say yes. I would say the ultimate goal is for single men and women, obviously, to get married, to find that one person that's going to be a right fit for us for the rest of our lives. Somebody we can grow old with, have kids with, build a life with. That's what we want.
I'm not laughing at your answer. I'm just thinking out loud. And you said something about, well, you know, you didn't want to get into something too much because whatever. Because there are some people who just want their life to be the way that they want it without too many adventures, heartaches, etc. And I'm thinking to myself, I know plenty of married people like that who just want their life to be what it is without any extra whatever. Whether it's just, you know, me and my partner together and like we're not having any kids or anything like that because we want to just be in our little bubbles, just the two of us, and have the freedom to travel and go out at night or eat out or whatever, not have to be responsible for anybody else. So that could kind of apply in both instances.
Yeah, I can feel you. I think that I'm gonna transform here back to my single self to answer that question and say, yeah, no, definitely. You know, contrary to popular belief, I believe that most single men want to be married. Is the benefits, you know what I mean, of marriage, having somebody there on a regular basis that's in your corner, somebody you know you can call, you know, other people have it, you know, and it's the reliability factor of that, not just, you know, you think you do, it's, you know, you do. It's someone's almost responsibility for you, you know, to have your back. Hey, babe, gotta go to the hospital. I need you, you know, meet me there. I mean, it's a lot of things fall into play that they just come automatically, you know. So you know these things are, you know, are going to happen. And everybody, of course. Well, I don't think we're meant to kind of drive on this earth without companionship, without steady companionship, and without for us as men, without a woman, for us as heterosexual men, let me put it that way, said that way, without, you know, a woman, a companion woman companion to be with us and things like that. So yeah, I definitely think that despite popular belief, everybody thinks that every man wants to be a bachelor, and that's it. That's every guy's goal is to be the perpetual bachelor, and live life just like, hey, I'm cool. I'm not saying that's not some guys' goals, but it's not every guy's goal. You know what I'm saying? Believe it or not, a lot of guys' goals is to be with someone. So I think a lot more than a bigger percentage of single guys than people think want to be married. Now, whether it actually happens or not, that's a whole nother kettle of fish. What happens in between, and we can flip that other side of that coin here in a minute and talk about the disadvantages in just a second. So okay. I see you still looking to jump in.
Well, I didn't want to jump in before the host completely
right
this topic down. You know what I mean? But I want to steal a page from Sean's book a little bit and maybe not transform, but step into my time machine here and go back, right? And I got to go way back because I'm telling on myself a little bit, but got to go back, right? And honestly, I wasn't thinking about being married initially. I didn't look. I came up. The only married couple I really watched in my formative years were my grandparents. And somewhere along the line, to me, that kind of felt like, oh, that's something that old school people do. Because my mom was a single mom. My friends, with the exception of one, came from single mother households. So I didn't see a lot of that marital interaction. And the ones that I did know who had both parents in the home, they lived a completely different lifestyle from me. And I felt like that wasn't my lot in life. So, it was kind of like, this is my place. So I'm going to be in this lane with people like me. So seeing marriage was not something I felt was in the cards for me, or something I put a lot of thought into. But then I got a little bit older, and that changed. And it changed because I got a little bit older. And honestly, I think a lot of it for me was just, I was in that stage of being a young adult, feeling my adulthood. I'm grown, I'm a man, I can make decisions, I can do what I want to do. And if I want to get married, yeah, I'm gonna get married. I can do this. So it wasn't necessarily oh my gosh, this was something I thought about and dreamt about or planned or anything. Or even put eventually I'll get there. It's just kind of, well, I feel like I'm in a place now where I should be able to do this because I can. So I think I will.
Okay, so I guess I'll be the first to jump out and say, no, I don't think that most single men want to be married. And I don't think it's close, to be honest with you. And this is not me trying to be opposite dude or playing, the other side, for, just to try to be balanced. I really do believe, okay, so we all were in a shape or form way raised as Christians, whether no matter what your commitment level may be to that belief system, we were all raised Christian. I think that has a whole lot to do with it. If you don't have some sort of religious background, you may not in 2021, you may not see a reason to get married. Okay. Put your kids to bed. As free as sex is today.
You better quit. Put your kids to bed. I gotta go back. Yeah, 30 years, right quick.
As free as Tang is today. I mean, it's free like government cheese. It's free like Gmail accounts free. Like
Oh
you
my
don't have to
gosh,
put in
like
very
Gmail
little
accounts
work
free.
to get
Woo.
It's free like YouTube subscription. I mean, like it's free. It's free like YouTube channels, but
It's free.
so
free.
Like that commercial.
People-
Free.
people can get the physical, people can shack, people can get the sex, and go home and wash it off and do it with somebody else tomorrow, next week, 3 minutes from now, and they can keep going with their life. And
wash it off.
Wake up the next day and pretend like all of that stuff did not happen and do whatever they want to do, you know, do their hobbies and just not care. Like, I'm not saying that that's like there still are some, and I'm mainly thinking of men more than women. There still are some men that you know want to get married, want to establish that family, you know, want to build that legacy, want to be good fathers, good dads, and things like that. Like those guys still exist. I just feel that right now they're in the doggone minority, and it's kind of sad because right now society is not in their favor. Like when you think about, okay, I'm about to paint a cloudy picture. I apologize. Okay, when you think about guys that get married, what is the risk of your marriage blowing up or being dissolved? Divorce. The divorce rate is extremely high right now. And I think it was somewhere around 70 to 80% of marriages, it's not the man leaving, it's the woman leaving the man. Then you might lose your kids. You might lose your house. You might lose your money. And then you think, I did all this for some free tang. You know?
Dang, Tom.
Consistent. Not free. Consistent. I
Right.
think is what you mean.
Can I jump in here?
Oh yeah, get him out.
Please.
So considering the situation with myself and my ex, I've just working things out in my head. I thought to myself, I was in love with this woman. I would have married her if she said yes. And if she stayed on yes, I would have married her. I would have dropped everything just to be with her. That's how in love with her that I was. And when we broke up and I got away from her, I began to put things back together in my head. And this took like a year or two for me to get everything straight and untangle myself from her. And I thought to myself, you know what? I could have gotten a prostitute, done the deed, paid the bill, and went on my way. Why would I put up with all this extra nonsense? And why would I have this nonsense on a daily basis? From the time that I wake up in the morning, she's there being stupid. To the time I come home from work, she's there being stupid.
I kind of feel like I'm converting you, but
No. Because I'm trying to.
There's a
jump back
reason
in.
why I still want to be married, because I had to convince myself that it's still worth it to fall in love with someone and be married, because I didn't want to shield my heart off the way that this girl made me do. I didn't want to lock myself into a position where I'm bitter and I hate women. I hate marriage. I'm not doing that. I'm a better person than that.
okay, I want to jump back in before somebody else jumps back in, because I want to emphasize this isn't necessarily how I feel. Like, I really do believe in marriage. Like, I do feel that two people, you know, united as a team can accomplish more than two individuals working separately. I feel that a married couple is that's greater than the sum of their parts, as long as they're working together, not competing against each other, not trying to one up each other, but actually working together. That being said, I feel like the majority of men do not share that vision. You don't even have to go far, right? You don't even have to go far to find dudes that don't think that way. And like the experience that Ronald said, a lot of dudes, that one experience is be like, nah, I'm done with women. And that's it.
Right.
And they don't even look back. Like, okay, so that's how it is. That's how it is.
I used to think Howard Stern, because Howard Stern holds that position as far as I know to this day. He's like, I'm not getting married. I got a girlfriend and that's all I want. And I used to think, Howard, you're an idiot. What is wrong with you? Because I took his shock jock personality for his actual life. But then I grew up and I have my own experiences and I'm like, okay, Howard, I get you now. I see why you are the way that you are. You did the marriage thing, it didn't work out, and you're done. And I was like that too. I was at that point where I was like, I'm done.
Howard has flipped it since then. He actually does. I think he did get married quite a few years ago. He's got a show on Sirius XM. So shout outs to Howard Stern. He's gonna be killing us with our little podcast. We just started up. I'll get on there. We talking about Shock Jock Factory. Howard's liable to get on there and thrash us, right? So I'm making this quick out. Hey, calm down, Howard. I'm running some other information here.
Say what you gonna say, Howard. What you gonna do?
You ain't worried about it. You ain't worried about it.
That was Terrence.
No. He did switch around. He does have a wife, right? Terrence said that. You go ahead and get on here.
So you guys know,
like you know.
And I guess coincidentally, so Howard knows. I have nothing against Howard Stern. I saw the movie that he made. I think he's a great guy. I think it's the personality that he created with his show. I thought it was all brilliant. But when I was a teenager, I was like, man, this guy's an idiot.
Right.
But then I was a teenager. I was a young man. I wasn't even a full-grown adult yet. But when I became an adult, and I'm talking about well into adulthood, I'm talking like mid to late 30s. That's when I had my stupid experiences, and I'm like, this is stupid. Why in the world? Howard was right. I should never had considered. I'm really glad to this day. I'm seriously glad that I did not marry that girl because I would have ruined myself.
I'm gonna go off on a tangent and then reel it back.
Or I would have become abusive.
But normally, like, I'm not a coward or anything like that. I just want to say that up front. But the way that Kwame Brown's been throwing smoke lately makes me not want to just put out an open invitation for the smoke. Because you might get some smoke, you might get some fireballs with that smoke.
You ain't lying. No kidding.
Down, forward, high punch.
Oh, you can.
But does anyone have anything else to add as far as talking about single men and their desire to be married?
What's left to be said? I mean, like I said, some guys, there are guys out there that they want to stay single. They just want to. They want to have their freedom. They want to be able to come and go as they please, And I guess I kind of respect that, but I think
that's important
in that if a person isn't careful, But as long as they're being reasonable and proper in their decision making, actually it's their life; they can do what they want, but still, you got to be reasonable and proper in your decision making because if you're one of those dudes just going around hooking up with girls and hurting their feelings when they wanted more, and you're like, no, I got what I want, I'm out. Then you create a problem for that next single guy that wants more and wants to be a good person. And he comes along and he meets a woman that you've already damaged. and so he becomes the target for her anger over you. So you guys out there doing that, please be careful. Think about the rest of us coming along behind you. We don't want that smoke.
But I think you did make an important point as far as it's important to respect the decision of other men to not decide to be married. If they want to stay single, if they want to stay in the game or out the game, you know,
right?
That it's important to respect that. I feel that because what happens a lot is that society decides that one route is the right route and everything else is wrong. So the people that are going those routes get shamed, and the people that are going the right routes get praised. But right. Neither.
You gotta be careful about the court of public opinion.
I don't agree with either. Don't praise me because I decide that I value marriage. Don't shame me if I decide that I don't value. You see what I'm saying? Like,
right. Respect everyone.
Everybody has a choice. Okay.
So I heard everything y'all said, and I just wanted to throw this out there because it popped in my head when y'all were talking about, you know, being careful and minding how you treat people. So I'm just gonna throw this out there as my mood changer, so to speak. People always told me, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. And mom always told me, be careful who you love and be careful what you do, because the lie becomes the truth. Thank you for those words of wisdom, Michael Jackson.
And the alternate words of wisdom would be
done.
From the window to the wall to the blank.
You know what? We got to ask the other question.
Oh, God.
I love it though. I love it. I like that. I do like that.
I didn't realize I was serving that up, but thank you for the slamming that hole.
He went the complete opposite of the spectrum with yin yang. Shout out to the yin yang. God dang it. All right.
Or the wait till you see. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Anyway.
Cut.
Cut.
Like Dave Coulier, cut it out.
You need to cut it.
All right. So we talked about single men and what their desires are. So let's look at married men. Do married men want to be single? Are they jealous of that life?
Absolutely. I'm rushing out the gate. I'm snatching the mic.
I'm laughing because I see Ronald like,
listen,
so I went first now. It's on y'all now.
I'm rushing out the gate. I'm snatching the mic. Terrace is trying to grab it, and I'm snatching it back from him.
Go for it. Go for it.
Listen. Absolutely, I think so. I that's my thing. I absolutely think that once
you would
that. What that
want to be? Say it.
Jealous of a single life? Yes, they are. Yeah, I can say it. I will say it. Yes, they are. I am not scared. No, seriously. Once you get in it, because the things that just like everything comes with other things, right? And one thing we did say, and I wanted to bring it up from last thing. You know, we underestimated. Like you underestimate the love factor. I love what Rhino was saying. You know, that is the swing factor. When Tony brought it in about like, you know, a lot of people have that mentality and a lot of men have a mentality like, if I can get all this, I mean, I'd rather get it all and then I ain't trying to do nothing else different. But, you know, the swing factor is when you love a woman to that next level, when you love your family, when you get to that, you know, you want to create a family, like you say, you know, along with that comes other responsibilities. That's the key word that I wanted to kick in on, was responsibilities. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you know, you don't step up to the challenge, you don't do what you're supposed to do. You know, we in this group, the men of a certain age, all my friends of the same caliber, thinking and lines with me, we are all of that nature. We step up to our responsibilities. We do what we have to do. And as a matter of fact, we hold them as the badge. You know what I'm saying? But it is possible, and it's very likely, and it does happen when you think to yourself, what have I done? Holy crap. This is a lot. Like, this is just every single time I'm turning around and I got something else to do. And, from a single standpoint, thinking back to when it was like, what was different then? You didn't have that. You didn't have the responsibility that also came along with it. So to answer the question a little bit more, also because something else that was brought up and something I was already thinking about is, as a married man, am I a little jealous of the single life? Yes, for one reason: the freedom of it. You don't have to check with nobody. When you set a schedule, you set a plan, you're setting your schedule, your plan throughout the day. Whatever you want to do, you can do. If you feel like flying to New York, you can fly to New York. If you, I knew Rado was gonna smile on that one. I mean, there's no one else to check with. There's no other thing to do unless you have, you got kids out there, stuff like, even if you have a baby mom or whatever, you just have to make sure that's not your particular weekend from that standpoint. But as far as single, there's no other woman responsible, whatever. You're not wrong to do something. You want to buy a pair of $150 Jordans with your STEMI check, buy it. You ain't got nobody else to come in and say, how much was these? Where'd you get them from? Why'd you buy them? And it's not to say that all of these are bad things per se, but like I said, sometimes you get in, they say, what is it? You pay the cost to be the boss. You pay a little bit of the cost to be the boss. Once you are the boss, you're the king of castles, you're head of households, that comes with all of that stuff. And sometimes you look on the other side of the fence and go, those were the days, man. I ain't had to do none of this. Like, did I really option to do this? The heck was wrong with me, man? Did I make this choice? I made a lot of choices, and this kind of, I wish I could go back. But don't get me wrong, and then that's the other part of it. I think the other part of it, and I'll close with this, is just to say, you also know you can't go back. Like, there's no more finality of a choice, and when you're doing it right, you're supposed to. It's not supposed to be where it's like, they say 70% of marriages, like he gave a stat, 70 to 80, they not making it. You're not really supposed to go into it with an attitude of, what, if I don't like it, I'll get out and run the next one. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to do it that way. So when your attitude is not that, then you think to yourself, you can't get out. Like, you can't go back to that. You made it this type of choice. And now you wonder and you look back and go, did I do the right thing? All right, I'll close with that.
Okay. So I'm going to jump in and give my spiel here. I don't know that I envy single life. And I'm not looking at the other side like, oh man, I wish I had that freedom to kind of just do what I want to do. And I understand everything that you said about pay the cost to be the boss, and gosh knows I feel frustrated sometimes because, especially with being outnumbered, because it's just me and one son versus wife and two daughters. So we are fighting an uphill battle some days, but I'm not looking at that other side like, man, I wish I was out there. Because I listen to the war stories of single dudes and some of the stuff that they deal with. Nah, I ain't got patience to deal with that. Between, because some of the young, I won't say young, but some of these single guys is out here and they living that life. They juggling 2, 3, 4. Look, chasing 2, 3 kids is wearing me out. Trying to manage 2, 3 grown women? Have lost your daggone mind. You think the kid is out here trying to do nope, wants no parts of it.
True enough.
And as far as that whole freedom, I want to go out and buy myself a pair of $160 shoes. Yeah, I might have to look at the budget and see, is that really the best decision I could make with this? Because I got other people. You get to a point where it's like you prioritize things. So knowing that, like you said, we step up to the plate, we take on this responsibility. Part of that means decisions like that aren't heavy to make, because you realize in terms of responsibility and priority, that might not be the priority right now. But if it is the priority and I am able to do it, then guess what? I'm good. I'm gonna go do it. You know, I don't think, and even if there's an issue like, well, you know, we might should have possibly put something to the side to do da-da-da. That's the conversation to be had. And key word in that is conversation, not an argument, not a debate, not like a full-on fight or whatever. If you're in a good space where you're having a conversation about it, it's a conversation. So that still eases some of that whole tension of, man, sure would be nice to be able to go and do this and not have to deal with y'all. So, nah, for me, no. Nah, I'm good.
He's a negative.
Okay, so I guess I should go next since, okay. Does every married man want to be single? Not exactly, but there are moments. Like, sometimes you want all your fries. For real.
Exactly.
Respect. I can honestly acknowledge that. Respect.
Look, we gotta bow to the fries. That's a good.
Like, I got a bunch of hot fries. I'm hungry. You know, the HONGRY. I eat fries. Somebody else took a fry. You better be glad we got an agreement between you and God. Anyway, seriously, I think married men do sometimes get jealous of single guys. Their ability to do whatever they want without really thinking of even really short-term consequences, let alone long-term. The ability to think about the effects of just one person. Like, my decision is only going to affect me. It's not going to affect someone else. And it has nothing to do with dislike or not loving somebody else. It's simply because it's lighter to carry one person than it is to carry two. I mean, it's simple, like it's physics. It's more difficult to, and I won't use the word carry, but it's more difficult to work with a group than it is to work individually. That's just the way it is. That's an honest truth. But there are benefits to being married. There are benefits to being in that group. There are rewards for that. And on average, a married guy might say, I wish I could do this, do that, or be like a single guy for a short period of time. But they don't want to just say, let me just cash this in. you know, like Vegas, let me cash my chips in.
Yeah, true enough.
And we're not all in on that. No.
Because and let me scare you, some of you married guys that are thinking about that. Have you seen the dating game in 2021? Yeah. You think the one at home you got is bad? Wait till you see the ones on the free range.
even for us,
he said the free range.
The free range.
Even for us single guys, the dating game is change so drastically, and the older you get, the worse it gets.
It's cheaper to keep her.
That's a mouthful sometimes.
Tried and true. It's tried and true. It is tried and true advice, bro.
But if all you got to do, take some time, hang out with some fellas, and ask them about the dating game in 2021. Donate some meals. Donate some meals. Get ghosted a few times.
Oh yeah, I forgot about these. It's new terms. It's ghosting.
Yeah, that's just like, that's an easy term to understand, ghosting. Oh, you just vanished. You just didn't show up.
You just stopped talking to me. I asked you if you wanted to go to dinner. I ain't getting no response. I ain't heard from you since.
I gotta pull out a PKE meter to find you. I need Egon and Winston.
Tell them about the Twinkie.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, you got a point. I mean, you got a point, so it would be short. It would be short-lived. You're right about that.
All fluff and filler.
I just want my fries and a motorcycle. That's all. That's all. My fries, my motorcycle, and maybe my Xbox. Everything else
I can share.
And you can put it all in one room. You know, the Xbox next to a motorcycle with some hot fries on the seat. You know,
and let me go to it for half a day, and like one time a week. The other part.
I must admit, as a single guy, hearing all this, I want to say it's not that easy being single either, because you still gotta pay rent, still got pay car note if you have one, and don't be a single guy that has kids. You paying that alimony unless you just trying to skip out on doing that. It is what it is.
Okay.
But at the same time, there's a struggle wherever you go. I mean, I realize that it is a lot easier being single in some respects than it is, being married. Yes, it was easy. It didn't require any thought at all to drop $1,200 on a ticket. But without having to consider, what about my wife? Oh, what about the kids? Who's going to take care of the kids while I'm out of town? What's going to happen? I must admit, I didn't really have to worry about all of that. But there's still things to think about. There's still things to consider. There's people that, even though I'm single, that still depend on me. Things that, one group of people don't have to depend on me anymore. Oh,
job switch.
My job.
Switch.
But for the most part, there's responsibility, whatever your situation, that must be met, and you got choices to make. It comes right back down to choice. I've met married men. They love being married. They love being fathers. They love it. Sure, it is. They get stressed out. They get stressed out.
I do.
Watching my nephew dealing with his two daughters, I'm pretty sure they drive him nuts. They were kind of driving me nuts. I'm being nice. I'm like, yeah, I'm answering their questions. But at the same time, it's like, look, your dad's upstairs. Go, daddy.
End of the day, you give back. You go to somebody else,
right? But
don't give back when it's yours.
Right, but it just is what it is. There's responsibilities wherever you go, whatever you do, whatever choice you make. There's responsibilities. Married or single.
That's true. You have to wear that. And that's what I said a little bit earlier. You have to wear that as a badge. You know what I'm saying? You have to. That has to be the 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 reward and stuff like that. One of my favorite lines. Shout out to Drake right quick. And no, I don't own the rights to his music, but not that I'm actually playing the music, but what's the line? Ain't no envelopes to open. This don't come with trophies. I just do it because I'm supposed to. That I like that, and you have to take that as the badge of honor for what you're doing. You know what I mean? That has to be more important to you than I'll agree with Tone. Maybe it might take me a week. I probably think I'd have fun for about a week, and then a week in a single life, and then I might go, I don't want this. So I'd hit some other points. I'd be like, you know what, I've had enough. So so I know some of y'all say it'd take hours. Okay, some take a day. Terrence looked like it'd take like 3 seconds.
Well, I was about to say, I think that's why my perspective is a little bit different, because I'm listening to you guys talk, and I can honestly say I feel like I'm in a place now where because I have been, and we all have been on some level, the guy, meaning everything was on our shoulders. We were the breadwinner. The other half was either tending to kids or not working or whatever the case may be. And everything was on our backs, and we could either fold under the pressure or plant your feet and lift. And for me, I feel like now, because kids are getting older and, we've developed a relationship to where we're starting to kind of be able to enjoy each other a little bit more, because the kids are a little bit more self-sustaining and self-sufficient. So it allows for that relationship to be cultivated. But then there's also room now for individuality, meaning she want to go get a massage for an hour and a half or whatever to decompress or whatever. Go, knock yourself out. I want to sit in the room. Part of my decompression is this, being able to come in and get in with you guys for time that we spend. Cool. And because of that I think gives me, that's my freedom, since if that's what we're calling it, that's my freedom. These are my moments to be free and kind of carefree, not worried about somebody tugging on my shoulder. Hey, Dad, I need this. Hey, Dad, I need that. Hey, can you fix this? Hey, can you not right now. And then I can re-enter the family thing and be good. So that's why my perspective, I think, is the way that it is. Had you asked me the same question 4 years ago, maybe my perspective might have sounded a little bit more like Sean's. So I'm not immune. I'm not like just kind of no, I understand it. I'm just, for me, and that's the thing about relationships, if it doesn't progress and grow, that's where those breakdowns start happening. And that's why that percentage is so high, because I think now people are not as inclined to try and work and grow. They see something and it doesn't kind of fit what they want, I'm out.
And that's true too.
Yeah, they do
if
that.
A lot of people don't see what they like and see if it fits them, they're done. Like I don't think it's millennials. I think it's Zoomers. They're not Zoomers either. I think it's millennials.
Generation Z.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about the millennials. They're not having kids. Not at the rate that our generation had them, and definitely not at the rate that the baby boomers had them. They're no. The classic family going on vacation, mom, dad, and the kids get the station wagon and drive 2 clicks wherever to go visit other family. That doesn't happen as much anymore because they're not having kids, and it's a problem because we live in a economy that's based upon people being able to produce. And if there's no one to produce, then it's going to be a problem for us when we're retiring.
It's funny because I hear, statisticians and financial planners complain about that, but it's like the millennials basically just listen to stuff that previous generations didn't listen to. Like, how many times when we were in school and growing up as adolescents and young teenagers, now boys and girls, having a baby is a big responsibility. It's going to change your life forever. You'll no longer be number one. You're going to have to put yourself to the side or put yourself in the background and be number two. And all previous generations before that, like, man, forget you. We having sex, we having babies.
Whatever.
Literally was like, you know what? That's a good point. Getting it in like Gmail, huh?
Yeah, I love it. Looking at Rhino with this.
But they just decided
getting it in like Gmail. We said, nah, bump that. Get it good.
That's a good point. Maybe we shouldn't have children right now because there are things we want to do.
It is kind of a responsibility.
There's a million things I haven't done.
They gotta go to school. They gotta go to school. Listen, they gotta go to school longer. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
But I have to admit, as a single man, having my life having taken the course that it's taken, granted, I still want to get married, but I'm not exactly in a rush either. There's a time when I was in a rush, like, come on, girl. Okay, we know each other. Great. Let's go ahead and speed this up. But now it's like, hey, I can take as long as you want to take. I'm in no hurry. But you guys make being, and I watch you, and it seems like being a husband and a father is easy. Like, well, I don't want to say easy.
Yeah,
you guys make it. It's like it just seems like you guys fit your roles so very well, and I have to admit, I don't know if I can do that.
You can.
What if I'm a terrible father? What if I'm a terrible husband?
Take it from
What if I don't listen to her enough? What if I actually am a jerk?
Step one is the fact that you care about that. The fact that you even care helps is step one to
that
be
is like exactly that
better. That's the fundamental bread and butter right there.
Exactly. Having said that makes you a better dad than I started out as. Already, yeah.
You already care about.
Yeah, you were like 3 steps ahead of me coming into it.
I swear.
Woo.
Okay, so
a long time
I want to translate a little bit of what Rhino said, because when he said it, I think all 3 of us laughed. Okay, from his perspective, it looks easy when we do it.
Yeah, and we appreciate that. Thank you, Rhino.
Like,
appreciate the friend.
We make it look easy. Like, it's not easy.
It's not.
Right.
But
it's a lot of TV magic over here, partner.
But and I can understand that. I can understand that because from the outside looking in, it can look that way. If you're on the inside putting in effort, it can look that way from the outside. Especially if you're not, putting all your errors and mistakes on social media. All your efforts.
Right. Yeah. Ain't doing that anyway.
You just take it outside, put a little dirt on it. Yeah. Nobody need to know about this.
Look, once you said that, I had to catch myself before I started saying so. Like, wait a minute. Not going to divulge quite everything, but
burn.
I appreciate the compliment. Thank you.
I appreciate the compliment. That's what I was saying. Thank you very much.
I mean, it's kind of hard to explain, but just over the years or over the course of time that we've been using this forum, just you guys talking about different decisions that you've had to make and different decisions you were going to make and different decisions you've made in the past. I'm like, whoa, man, that's tough. And then, or you guys have simply explained what you did. Oh yeah, we just did this. I just told her this, or she told me this, or we decided on this. And I'm like, wow, that's really succinct. I don't know that I would have made that decision quite so easily.
Okay,
They
so
would have been like, "Fool, is you crazy? We ain't doing that." I'm like, "Yes, I'm the man. We're doing that."
okay, so we've been talking about men,
and I've learned,
Right.
but
right.
like,
But
I'm sorry. Go
just
ahead.
a single guy's perspective. I've had this one when I was in Bible school. Me and two other guys, all in Bible school, we were working in the same building. It just so happened that it worked out this way. and me and my friend, we were single and wanting to get married. The other guy was married. And he said something that we totally ignored, but I look back on it today and I'm like, you know what? He was absolutely right. And he was like, you guys, you don't get it. He was like, listen, marriage solves one problem, all right? And that problem being a lack of sex. Because we're all Christians and we're trying to, not put ourselves out there like that. And he's like, marriage solves one problem. So you can have sex and not feel all guilty like you did anything wrong. But it comes with a host of other fights and struggles that you have to deal with. And even he made, just watching him, it was like, wow, but you make marriage look so easy, so it can't be that hard. Well, he's divorced to this day. He's divorced. He married another lady, and they started another family. But I mean, just his words back then, because back then my approach to what he said was like, whatever, dude, whatever. It's easy to say that because you're married. But I realize now that his words was filled with so much wisdom. He knew of what he spoke, so I don't know. As much as I want to get married, I don't know that I'll ever get married because I spent too many years looking for Tyra Banks, as a
She's single.
Shout out to Tyra.
Shout out to Tyra.
I honestly think she's single.
If she's single out there, give my boy a call.
But
I don't know. You probably
phrase that. Not
you don't want Tyra Banks.
My idea of what Tyra Banks was in 1994. But,
yeah.
I'm sure the person Tyra Banks is eclectic and individual as she is, she may come with a whole list of directives and
Well, one of the things I wanted to add on was because we're talking about this from a male perspective and a male point of view and about men, but your marriage is only going to be as good as the woman that you're with. Like, you can be the greatest man alive, and if you don't have a decent partner, you ain't gonna make it. So respect to all the good partners out there. Respect to both sides.
True.
Yes, indeed.
Truth. Actually, that's a great point.
No disrespect, please don't kick me out the house. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I had to do the wife plug.
Okay.
But they listen. So
I was say, see, now you trying to make us look bad. But I will try and go on with what I was saying before to Ryan, which was, why it looks easy, at least in my case. Yeah, she's the reason why me being a parent looks easy. Because a lot of the times after Hurricane Terrence comes through and does the dad thing, it's mom who's like FEMA and rebuilds everything. So
that's exactly. I love it. That's awesome. Too.
Just say it.
That's a great analogy, man. That's a great analogy. Hurricane Terrence and Terrence's wife is FEMA.
FEMA, exactly.
It is a great analogy. It is a great analogy. Like I said, I guess it was good that I was trying to.
But that's my wife too,
like
by
you say.
the way.
Shout out to the partners. Yeah, that's your. Oh yeah, awesome. Yours is better than mine. I just pleaded on the mic like I don't want to sleep in the garage tonight. Please listen to this with with a balance. Don't start an argument with me thinking so you want to be single, huh? You want to be single, babe? I just need you to like and subscribe like everybody else, and not necessarily.
Like that would be terrible. That's the only thing she heard. She wants to be single.
You got a 10-piece.
You know what?
Can I have 10? Not 9, not 8. But 10.
You know what? But I just had the idea. We should open a restaurant. Just go into business, right? And make, our combos 1 through whatever, and have one on there. It's the husband meal. It's like 13 nuggets.
13 at that.
That way you can have your 10-piece.
3 to give away.
You got 3 spares.
You already know why my face is scrunched up, right? Because you know she gonna take 4. You know she gonna take 4.
Or more than one.
You put the number at 13, she take 4.
Yeah.
You put the number at 14.
I'm supposed to get 1.
How about this?
I'm supposed to get 2.
Just because you had it in your mind and you thought you was gonna get 10. Nah, bro.
If you bought the husband meal, once all your fries are gone, you can come back.
There you go.
Yeah, I got the husband meal.
I got the husband meal. Okay, sir.
Yeah,
we go.
Got
There you go. We're gonna give you this meal, and you go around.
You just pack it in a specific way so that it's like.
And the ranch is on the house. This is a whole cup.
So if you ordered 1 meal, we're gonna give you 2. That's what's gonna happen. You ordered the husband meal, we're gonna give you double of whatever you got.
And on that menu will be a special sandwich called the Great White Buffalo.
What they got away?
That sandwich it'll be stacked. It'll be the perfect sandwich. It'll be the one that got away.
Oh man. Okay.
All right.
That was a little
no buffaloes were harmed in the filming of this podcast.
True story.
I think we ran like long. I didn't mean to start.
All right, fellas. So let's wrap it up. And let's just say accommodations to everybody's who involved in a marriage. Keep it going if you want to. And there's no shame in, slinging your thing around carefully.
Be responsible.
Be responsible. Wrap it up.
If you're single,
tuck it up.
That's the key word here. Single or not, responsibility.
Exactly.
But no life decision is better than another. Each are equal. So
exactly.
Just live your life. Anyway, after we get copyright sued for like 5-6 different song mentions of this podcast,
and slashed by a couple of people who didn't like their names mentioned without you asking permission. Like I'm supposed to do that, knowing before the podcast I was gonna say something about how it started with Tyra Banks.
Excuse me, fellas. Drake's outside waiting for you. Drake.
Yeah, he said you used some words from a line in his song, and he's looking for his check.
Well, look, I've already said I don't listen to his music much, so he ain't here for me.
But anyway,
appreciate that, Ty. Way to have your boy back. Like way back there.
Oh, look, when Howard Stern came up, where were you at?
Ducking and running. You was the one who said shock. I ain't gonna lie.
Drake and Howard Stern outside in fighting clothes, in t-shirts and sweatpants.
Oh Lord. Lord.
But anyway, anyway, let's wrap it up. And it's been fun. It's been real. And I'll pass to Terrence for the closing.
Well, as always, appreciate it. to anybody who was named dropped this episode, please know it was done in love. We were just shooting the breeze, nothing malicious or ill will intended by anything said up here. Just for the men of a certain age, giving our opinions. No facts here, just our thoughts and feelings and sharing them with the public. And on that note, thank y'all for listening. Like, share, subscribe. God bless you. Good night.
Peace.